This is Reverend Lorena here, the old sage from Celestial Time, and today we're going to go through the higher arcana. We're going to go through the Wheel of Fortune, through the devil. Okay, the devil. Oh, everybody's scared about the devil, but actually, devil is simply the material world. But first off, we're going to begin with the Wheel of Fortune. When you see the Wheel of Fortune in a card, when it falls on a spread, you know that the thing's moving forward. There are things going to be happening. If Wheel of Fortune says, come on, let's roll, all right? A lot of times this has to do with career, but it might have to do with relationships or whatever. There's two things going on at once, 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 things going on at the same time in the person's life. There is a lot happening when the wheel is right side up, and they're moving forward, which, depending on the rest of the spread, is which way and what they're moving forward in. If it's upside down, that's just it. We've fallen out of the chariot, or it's stalled energy. Try very hard to see what else is around this before you say, oh, you're not going anyplace, because maybe not going anyplace is what needs to happen, okay? It's not, none of these ups or downs or right or wrongs are bad. They're just, this is what is. It's what's happening, and do you like it or don't you like it, what you want to do about it. So with these videos, Wheel of Fortune's moving forward for me, and in my personal world, I'm doing a lot of things right now. I'm getting ready. The last weekend in Pittsburgh, we're doing the Pittsburgh Renaissance Festival of Celestial Time, and then we're going to go in the following week. We'll be in Texas doing the Texas Renaissance Festival. So the Wheel of Fortune is turning fast for me, and I'm sure it's doing well too. If you saw my video last week, I didn't post last week, and I'm so very sorry, but I was taking a huge tree off the top of my booth, and I'm very blessed. Of course, good Lord, Spirit takes care of me generally. The tree fell down. All the branches fell down, but all I lost was an umbrella and some tchotchkes, a couple moons and stuff. My booth is fine, and I am grateful for that. Okay? All right. Now, the next card is the 9. This is justice, okay, or the 11. I mean, this is justice, okay. After all is said and done, where's the balance? Where's the justice? A lot of times this will lay where somebody's having a court case, okay. If justice is right side up, seems pretty good for the person. If it's upside down, it's not fair, it's not good, it's not right. Better do something about this. Make as many changes as you can so that you end up in a better place. But justice right side up, you see the justice card, that she's there, and she's sitting there between, she's got the thorn, she got the sword, she's got the cup, she's got everything there, the scales of justice, okay? So with the scale of justice, please realize that balance is needed in whatever the subject matter is of the reading and of the spread. Okay, might be talking about something and go, are you a police person? Are you do you work in the justice system? Because sometimes it's about the person, and they literally meter out justice. Okay, all right. So then the next we have is the Hangman. The Hangman is a misunderstood card. People like the Hangman. Oh no. Well, the Hangman is about timing and possibilities. If the Hangman is upside down, they sent the boat around 4 times, and you couldn't decide whether to get on the boat or not. And the boat left you, and now you're stuck. Okay. Whereas if it's right side up, your timing is just about timing. You might have to wait a little while. You might better hurry up and get going. Say for instance, suppose you cross the cards. Oftentimes in a spread, and we'll get to spreads later, I cross the cards because I want to know more about what's happening, so I'll cross the card. Suppose in the Wheel of Fortune, you put it across the Hangman. I'd be advising a person to get going, get moving, take on the extra, take care of yourself naturally, but take on the extra opportunities right now, or you'll lose them. They'll go by and you won't get them. But anyway, Hangman he looks right side up here, but he's really upside down, and he thinks he's got his feet on the ground, but it's really, he's too slow. He's not making his decisions the right time in the right place, or he needs to slow down. It just, like I said, depends on the rest of the spread. If it wasn't the Wheel of Fortune that was crossing it, and it was justice, Well, that reminds you of the court system, doesn't it? What happens when you know the courts? There's time, and again, you know, you might have to go, and then they delay it or they postpone it, or maybe you should. You know, it's all about that. And then the next card here is death. Okay, now death gets a lot of bad press. Death is one of the better cards in the deck because death says, oh my God, it's done. You can let go of the past. You can move forward. Death is transformation. And transformation is something that is usually pretty good for the human being because we're transforming into something better, something more rite of passage type stuff. Okay. Death sometimes, very rarely, does it mean the death of someone unless it's already happened. I have a place in my tarot spread down here where sometimes it's about dead folks, and if death falls right there and then there's something next to it, I can pretty well know that I'm talking about someone that has passed, but it doesn't have to be the death card for that to happen. It just happens to be a good example. But the death card right side up is you're transforming, you're moving, whole new, moving across the country. Big changes are happening. Really coming out of yourself. Really getting your awareness going too. That could certainly be it because everybody needs to transform their awareness these days and think in a higher octave. Okay. Upside down death. Stuck. I don't want to make any changes. I don't want to do anything. No, 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 no. I want to hang on to the past. I want to make sure that I'm safe and secure. I don't like change. I'm dragging my feet. And what's the wisdom? Turn this thing right side up and accept the changes in your life. Accept the moving forward. Don't sit there and try to make it something it isn't. A good example of that is somebody gets older. They do. People get older, and you start dressing like a teeny bopper, and you start, trying to act like young because you don't want to make the transformation in your life to, to the stages in your life. So that in that way, death could be upside down, whereas every stage of the life journey is beautiful. Every stage of your life journey is beautiful in what you're doing and where you're going. The more you can embrace that, the happier you're going to be. Okay. And this video, the last one we're going to do is temperance. Because, well, maybe we'll do one more. I like to keep the video short. But temperance is balance. You notice she's got 1 foot in the ground, on the ground, and 1 foot in the water. Well, water in the tarot spread is always emotion. Okay, always, always, always. When you see water in a deck, you know that there's emotional connotation that goes with it. So this person, this energy right here is about keeping grounded, understanding your emotions, listening to your intuition, listening to your feelings, but being in a place where you're finally balanced. Think of the monk on the mountain that's sitting there and looking at the brook, and just everything is going by in peace and harmony. Well, you don't have to be a monk, but it looks like things are becoming peaceful and harmonious in your life right now. Upside down. Oh, when it's upside down, then it's kind of time for you to step back a little bit and go, you're way out of balance with something. You're either way over emotional, or you're trying to avoid emotion. You're trying to avoid things. You're backing up. You go, no, no, no. Or you're going, oh, I'm going to go wild and crazy. I don't care. Okay. Now, to each life, a little temperance must come. Okay, so that's temperance. And we'll go to the next one. The next one is the devil. Oh, the devil. Some people even take the devil out of their spread because they're afraid of the devil. Well, to start with, people, you're going to have to understand something. There is something that you call a devil, which is negativity. Now, is there a guy with a forked stick and horns? Probably not. But there is negative energy and there is positive energy. Okay. And we have to live with both of it, because that's how we live in duality, and we live in the land of duality. Or if we don't know what we don't want, we don't know what we do want. Okay, but the devil also, in some decks, and not this one in particular, but there's two guys and they're chained to this devil sitting on this perch, and so they're chained to the material world. They're chained to the belief that they've got to work 9 to 5, 7 to 4, 4 to 11. They've got to work very hard, and they don't make that much money, and they just got to eke by, and they're bought into the idea that the material world is a rough place, and it's going to be hard, and they're stuck. Okay, and sometimes this card is about sex, sometimes it's about addiction. Okay, well, you're not any more stuck in this life than if your body has decided it likes some substance better than your soul likes to live. Okay, when it's upside down, it's not really better. This is one card. When the devil is upside down, probably you may not have a job, or you don't want to work those normal hours. Now there's always a qualifier. If this is like next to temperance, or next to a spread where there's quite a bit of talent working, sometimes this is just working outside of the box. This is working. If it was applied to the Renaissance life, the devil upside down applies to that an awfully lot, because we work on the weekends and we travel and we go and we do things outside of the norm or outside of the box. Okay, we don't punch a clock till we don't live in a cubicle. And so sometimes the devil's really, in my opinion, good. In other people's opinion, that'd be a horrible thing, and they want that cubicle. But this is the cubite. This is the cubicle, and stuck in the job that's mind numbing, or that you don't like, or stuck in the addiction, or sometimes it's about great sex but nothing else, and there's nothing wrong with having great sex, but we could get into a whole lot of religion and philosophy about that. But in truth, whenever you share your energy with someone in that way, you're taking part of it with you. You're taking part of their energy with you. You're merging, you're blending energy. And is it going to keep you stuck? Is it going to pull you into addiction? Or is it just as next to the Lover's card? I'd say that was great sex and good and loving energy, if everything else looked positive. Okay, but anyway, all right, I'm gonna do one more. Okay, all right, because this is the Tower. Now look at that. Look, the Tower is falling down. Everything is blowing apart. Oh no! Oh my God! It's awful. This isn't a great card for things staying the same. Suppose this card was next to this card. Okay, this card crossed it. Now that doesn't happen very often, but suppose it did. You better be making some changes. You better be going with some changes, because everything you're doing right now is fixing to change. Okay, this is not as horrible as it looks, because things are falling apart so that make room for something new. And when it's upside down, I call it the war's over in the Fat Lady song. It's been bad, and I have never ever 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 seen this card fall and it not be the case. I trust spirit, I trust the cards, I trust the alphabet, I trust the law of resonance, which is what we're using when we work with the tarot. And when this card is upside down, the worst is over, but you can be pretty sure that in whatever area that this is falling, and that depends on the spread that we're using. Is it the past? Is it the future? You see, the area is as important as where the cards are. And once you get, and I'll tell you this a million times too, once you get a couple of spreads, a couple of ways you want to lay the cards, you don't have to do it the way the book says, but wherever past is, wherever present is, wherever future is, wherever dead folks are, or if you do like that, whatever, keep it that way. Don't change it that awful much. I have about three spreads. I have 3, 6, 9 in a line. I have a kind of a Celtic cross, uh, but it's got extra in it. And then I have a life spread, which is it goes with my astrology. But anyway, those are the higher arcana that we've got to right now, and I hope that you'll take some time and you'll spend energy at looking at your own deck. I'm sure you must have one by now, and thinking about how that applies perhaps in your life. It just learn each one of those cards. The higher arcana is much more dominant, much more important than the pip cards or the lower arcanas. The lower arcana, which we went through before, tell what's going on with the higher arcana. I don't know that I've ever ran a deck that I didn't, or a spread that I didn't have at least a royalty card, at least one, and pips around it. But I usually always there is a higher arcana card that falls. That gives you the more meat and potatoes of where the life is going, where it's been, where it's going to go. Okay, so with that, I'll say thank you very much for looking at my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe down there in the bottom. I also do phone readings. I do astrology and tarot on the phone, and you can see me at all the Renaissance festivals that I do. Like I say, I'll be in Texas Renaissance Festival very shortly. Hope to see you all there. Until then, study the tarot, but mostly be a student of life. Thanks so much. You take care, everybody. Bye-bye.